And we are live. Welcome, digital citizens, disruptors, and curious minds to the Digital Revolution live stream. This is more than a broadcast, it's a conversation and a community that's built around the power of digital transformation. I want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you, the followers, the listeners, and the supporters who tune in, share, and engage with the Digital Revolution with Jim Kunkel podcast. You are the heartbeat of the revolution. Your curiosity, your drive to learn, and your willingness to embrace digital transformation fuels everything that I do. Together, we explore the frontiers of technology, strategy, and leadership. We break down myths, we uncover realities, and we shine a light on the opportunities that digital innovation creates for industries, businesses, and individuals across the globe. Let me talk about the success of the second season of the podcast. Success that's all attributed to each and every one of you. Now, as we approach the end of year 2 for the podcast, in 2 years, we've released nearly 220 episodes and bonus content to date. And the series is averaging approximately 1,000 downloads per episode. The webpage for the podcast, which is surprisingly the most used, well, it's providing 39% of the episode listens. Apple Podcasts is 16%, and Spotify is 14%. Now, I want to remind everybody that this podcast, The Digital Revolution with Jim Kunkel, is available on all platform, all providers. And the global reach is at 67% North America, 21% Europe, and 7% East Asia, and then the balance throughout the rest of the world. Again, thank you so very much for making this podcast a very successful one. Now, let's talk about the adoption of digital twins. The global adoption of digital twin technology has accelerated rapidly in recent years. Now, according to market research conducted by Markets to Markets, the digital twin market was valued at approximately $12 billion in 2024, and it's projected to surpass $110 billion by 2028. Now, this surge is driven by industries such as oil and gas, aerospace, energy, and the manufacturing sectors, where really corrosion poses a significant risk to safety and profitability. In fact, surveys show that over 70% of industrial companies are actively exploring implementing digital twin solutions to improve asset reliability and reduce maintenance costs. This includes also, too, looking at corrosion as a big driver of deterioration and also budget and other types of expenses. So let's talk about the use in corrosion mitigation. Corrosion itself represents a massive economic burden. It's costing the global economy an estimated 2.5 trillion annually, or 3 to 4% of the global GDP. Now, this is according to NACE and AMP studies. Digital twins are increasingly being deployed to address this challenge by enabling predictive maintenance and real-time monitoring. For example, in pipeline and energy infrastructure, studies indicate that digital twins enabled predictive maintenance that can reduce unplanned downtime by up to 30% and extend asset life cycles by 20 to 25%. And adoption is particularly strong in oil and gas, where corrosion-related failures account for billions in losses each year. By integrating sensor data, AI models, and simulation capabilities with digital twins, well, they're helping operators cut inspection costs, improve safety, and also meet sustainability goals. These statistics they not only highlight the scale of the challenge of corrosion, but they underscore the transformative potential of digital twins in mitigating risk and driving efficiency. And digital twins can be applied in corrosion mitigation by creating real-time virtual replicas of assets that continuously need to be monitored. They can predict and they can simulate corrosion risk, which enable a proactive, condition-based maintenance instead of the traditional reactive or time-based schedules. Now, let's talk about key applications of digital twins in corrosion mitigation. The first is in real time monitoring. Sensors embedded in pipelines, into vessels, or structures, they feed live data such as temperature, pressure, humidity, chemical composition into the digital twin. This allows operators to detect early signs of corrosion and track deterioration as it happens. With real time monitoring and combined with digital twins, well, this enables a continuous visibility into the corrosion process. It allows operators to detect, to predict, and respond to risk before they escalate into costly failures. Real time monitoring explained. Digital twins create a virtual replica of the physical asset, such as a pipeline, and it can be done in refineries, it could be an aircraft, and they continuously mirror the real world condition by integrating the sensor data. And then these systems provide that constant update on the corrosion activity. Now, unlike traditional inspection methods, which rely on periodic checks or monitoring coupons, digital twins deliver continuous, up to the minute insights. And this means engineers can identify early warning signs of corrosion, such as localized pitting or under deposit buildup, in real time rather than after damage has already occurred. So let's talk about benefits in corrosion mitigation. The power of real time monitoring lies in its ability to shift maintenance strategies from reactive to predictive. Machine learning algorithms embedded in digital twins, it analyzes sensor feeds and historical inspection records to forecast where corrosion is most likely to occur. And this enables condition based maintenance. It reduces unnecessary inspections while ensuring that interventions actually happen when they're needed to. For an example, in oil and gas pipelines, real time monitoring can detect changes in soil, moisture, or even chemical contaminants that accelerate corrosion. And this allows operators to act before leaks or failures occur. In aerospace and marine application, digital twins track atmospheric conditions such as salt exposure or humidity, and they simulate how these factors deteriorate materials over time. And this ensures safety and reliability. Let's look at the strategic impact. By combining sensor networks, predictive analytics, and 3D visualization tools, digital twins provide a holistic view of asset health. This not only reduces downtime and inspection costs, but it also enhances safety by preventing catastrophic failures. Real time monitoring also supports sustainability goals by extending the asset's life and minimizing material waste. Ultimately, digital twins transform corrosion management into a data driven, proactive discipline, and this empowers industries to protect critical infrastructure while optimizing resources. What about predictive analytics? Machine learning models within the digital twin forecast corrosion risk based on historical inspection records, the environmental conditions, and the operational data. This predictive capability helps prioritize maintenance before failures occur. Predictive analytics within digital twins transforms corrosion management from a reactive process into a data driven proactive strategy. And so, by leveraging that historical inspection records, the sensor data, and also environmental variables, predictive models can forecast where and when potential corrosion is most likely to occur. And these models use advanced algorithms and machine learning to identify patterns such as pressure fluctuation, chemical imbalances, or humidity spikes that can accelerate deterioration. Instead of waiting for visible damage or relying solely on scheduled inspections, operators gain the ability to anticipate risk before they can materialize. And this foresight aligns with condition based maintenance. And this ensures that interventions are timely, they're targeted, and most importantly, cost effective. In industries like oil and gas, aerospace, and marine infrastructure, predictive analytics embedded in digital twins has shown measurable impact. Studies indicate that predictive maintenance powered by digital twins can reduce unplanned downtime by up to 30% and extend assets life cycle by 20 to 25%. For pipelines, predictive analytics can simulate how soil composition, moisture levels, and cathodic protection systems interact over time. pinpointing areas were most vulnerable to corrosion. And in aerospace, predictive models track atmospheric exposure, material fatigue, and this helps engineers schedule inspections before safety is compromised. So, by combining real time monitoring with predictive forecasting, digital twins provide a holistic view of the asset's health. And this enables businesses to minimize risk while reducing cost and also enhancing operational reliability. Let's talk about scenario testing and simulation. Engineers can run what if scenarios in the digital twin, and that's testing different coatings, different inhibitors, or operating conditions virtually. This reduces the trial and error in the field and it identifies the most effective mitigation strategy. One of the most powerful applications of digital twins in corrosion mitigation is their ability to run scenario testing and to simulate. By creating a virtual environment that mirrors the real world asset, engineers can experiment with different operating conditions, protective coating systems, inhibitors, and maintenance strategies without risking the actual infrastructure. To give you an example, a pipeline's digital twin could simulate how varying soil compositions, moisture levels, or cathodic protection settings, how it influences corrosion rates over time. And this allows operators to compare outcomes across multiple scenarios, identifying which interventions deliver the best balance of cost, safety, and asset longevity. Scenario testing also enables businesses to anticipate future risk by modeling extreme or unusual conditions. In marine environments, digital twins can simulate accelerated exposure to salt water and humidity. And this helps shipbuilders and operators understand how materials will degrade over decades of service. In aerospace, simulations can test how atmospheric pollutants or temperature fluctuations affect aircraft fuselage integrity. And these insights empower decision makers to select the most resilient materials, coating systems, and inspection schedules before assets are deployed. So, by combining predictive analytics with scenario simulations, digital twins provide a risk free laboratory for corrosion management instead of relying solely on historical data or costly field trials. Companies can virtually test what if conditions, such as changes in operating pressures, the introduction of new chemicals, or pushing the extended service intervals. This not only reduces uncertainty, but it supports sustainability by minimizing unnecessary material use and optimizing maintenance strategies. Ultimately, scenario testing and simulations transform corrosion mitigation into a strategic, evidence based discipline, and this ensures that assets are protected against both current and future threats. So let's talk about condition based maintenance. Instead of relying on fixed inspection schedules, digital twins enable maintenance only when data indicates there is a risk. This reduces unnecessary cost and downtime while extending asset life. In condition based maintenance, which is powered by digital twins, well, that represents a major shift away from traditional, schedule driven inspection routines. Instead of relying on fixed intervals for maintenance, digital twins can use real time sensor data and predictive models to determine when intervention is truly necessary. And this approach ensures that the maintenance activities are triggered by actual conditions of the asset, such as early signs of corrosion, extreme changes in environmental exposure, or unknown things that might be occurring in the protective coating system, rather than just arbitrary timelines. And by continuously monitoring the parameters like humidity, chemical composition, flow rates, and structural stress, digital twins provide a dynamic picture of assets' health, and this enables maintenance teams to act precisely when risks start to emerge. So the benefits of CBM and corrosion mitigation are significant. In pipelines, this allows operators to detect localized corrosion hotspots and to schedule targeted interventions before leaks or failures occur. In aerospace and marine, this approach ensures that inspectors are focused on areas that are most susceptible to atmospheric or saltwater corrosion. This reduces downtime, but it also improves safety. By integrating this type of approach into digital twin platforms, businesses not only optimize resource allocation, but they also enhance sustainability by minimizing unnecessary material use to extend the lifespan of critical infrastructure. Now, for the integration of diverse data sources, digital twins combine sensor data, historical inspection logs, environmental factors such as soil composition, groundwater, weather, and also 3D models. And this holistic view improves the accuracy in predicting corrosion hotspots. One of the most transformative aspects of digital twins in corrosion mitigation is their ability to integrate different data sources and pull it into a single unified platform. Corrosion is influenced by a wide range of variables, environmental conditions, and temperature and operational challenges, chemical exposures, and all those type of things that happen. And traditionally, data streams have been siloed, and this makes it very difficult to form a complete picture of the asset's health. Digital twins break down these silos by aggregating sensor data, historical records, simulation outputs, and even external databases such as weather forecasting, geospatial information, and other type of third-party information. This pulls it into one cohesive model. Now, this integration enables engineers to see how multiple factors interact to accelerate or slow down corrosion, and this provides a very holistic view of asset integrity. And by combining these diverse inputs, digital twins empower asset owners to make data-driven, context-sensitive decisions. So, as I mentioned earlier, in pipeline systems, by integrating soil receptivity data into cathodic protection readings and moisture levels, well, this can pinpoint areas most vulnerable to external corrosion. And marine applications, by blending atmospheric data with material fatigue records, help to predict how saltwater exposure will deteriorate hull structures over time. And this integration also supports advanced analytics, allowing predictive models to continuously refine themselves as new data flows in. This dynamic feedback loop ensures that corrosion risk assessments remain accurate and up to date, and by reducing uncertainty and also enabling a proactive intervention. Ultimately, the ability to merge diverse data sources into a living digital twin, it transforms corrosion mitigation into a strategic discipline where the decisions are informed by full complexity of real-world conditions rather than an isolated snapshot. So let's go into some industry examples. Let's first talk about oil and gas pipelines. Digital twins can help monitor inaccessible pipelines that are buried under soil or they are embedded in even into insulation. By simulating flow regimes, pressure changes, and chemical composition, operators can predict corrosion distribution and optimize protective measures. In aerospace and marine assets, aircrafts and ships can use digital twins to track atmospheric corrosion. Sensors feed data into predictive models that simulate how humidity, salt, and contaminants affect materials over time. And this allows for more targeted inspection and also reduced unscheduled maintenance. In refineries and processing plants, complex systems with exchangers, towers, and miles of piping that benefit from digital twins, that the model can look at corrosion under varying, crude compositions and operating conditions. And this really minimizes shutdowns and also improves profitability. Let's talk about the strategic benefits. Reduce economic loss. Corrosion costs the global economy an estimated 2.5 trillion annually, and digital twins can help cut this by reducing failures and extending asset life. With improved safety, you have continuous monitoring. It lowers the risk of catastrophic failures in pipelines, aircraft, or ships. And sustainability, it could be by optimizing maintenance and reducing material waste. Digital twins support greener operations. In collaboration and visualization, platforms provide 3D models and dashboards for teams to collaborate on corrosion management strategies. So, in closing, digital twins transform corrosion mitigation from a reactive, costly process into a predictive, data driven strategy. By mirroring real world assets in virtual space, they empower engineers to anticipate problems, optimize interventions, and extend the safe, profitable life of critical infrastructure. And with that, I want to say thank you very much for joining me for this broadcast. Have a great rest of your evening, your night, or your morning, no matter where in the world you're watching this broadcast. Thank you.